Okay, so I've got a confession to make. I've never watched Avatar The Last Airbender, the series. And yes, don't hate on me. I've never got around to watching it. And it's just never been on my list. So I started watching it because I thought people, I've had quite a few recommendations. People tell me, oh, you should watch it, it's really good. Don't, like, see it as just another kid show or anything like that. Just give it a go. So I did. So here today I'm actually going to review the first half of the first season. I haven't got around to watching all of it yet, but I thought if my plan was to make a review for the first half of the first season, and then I'd be able to have an idea of whether I should continue with it. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do today. Okay, so let's start off with the characters, and we're going to start off with Aang. He does something that's great. With quite a few things I've watched, series, films, and books, when this character is given a kind of goal, or basically like a great burden or like destiny, it kind of changes them, and they become consumed by this and the kind of responsibility. And sometimes I feel that's okay, that's something that's quite natural. But then with other things, I feel like, especially with younger protagonists, I feel that's not as accurate as it should be. So Aang still retains that kind of childish nature, but is still aware of that responsibility that he's been given and the weight of that. But he still manages to act as a child, because that is what he is. He is a child. The next two characters, we're going to talk about them together because they're both great. We've got Katara and Sokka. I think so. Anyway, both show the world from a semi-outsider perspective in terms of the whole like bending, air bending, water bending, all that other stuff. They're waterbender. They're from a tribe of waterbenders, so they kind of know some stuff, but not everything. So they can act as a way to fill in Aang with what's happened since he's been frozen in ice, and also just provide great representations of character. And they're both very good, very unique in their ways, and just compelling characters in terms of just character, like personality and flaws. And I think they're both very good. The world building in this is one of my favourite parts of this. They do a great job of considering the effects of what things have. I don't want to go into too much detail without giving it all away, but for example, you'll learn about these different tribes and the conflict between the different tribes as well, and like what these tribes have created. And I think that's very well done. I really like that. It's very interesting for me to be able to see all this, and that's kind of one of my main things I like about shows and novels and things like that, is the world building. That's one of my favourites. So the fact that this one does it very well, I really like. If we look at the plot of the show, I'm not going to be going into too much detail because, like I said, don't want to give away any spoilers. But you can't lie, the show is aimed at kids. It was first shown on Nickelodeon, I think. Which, I'm not saying it's just for kids, that's what I'm saying. But the fact that it's aimed at kids, you kind of expect a formula for a show, for like an episode formula with standalone problems that don't occur elsewhere, which is not the issue here. This one takes that formula and does a good way of changing it in unexpected ways. For example, I think there was one episode, I can't remember the name of it, but was this one with these rebels. I can't remember. This is in the next half of the season, might be episode 11, but basically this episode with some rebels and a dam and a village, basically I was expecting a certain formula because of the show. And this episode went in a completely different direction. And not what I was expecting. And I loved it. And so I'm happy that just because it's aimed at kids, it doesn't stick to the regular formula where everything is quite predictable in terms of what's happening. It's way beyond what kid shows, well, any show at the minute is really doing. And I just found it very entertaining. They're not ridiculously long episodes, they're only 20 minutes or so. 25 minutes, I think. And I've binged through quite a lot of them so far. And I think they're very good. So I'm going to be giving this one, in this little review kind of thing, I'm going to be giving it a score of 80 out of 100. And this is the score so far, so that what will happen is when I do a part 2 of season 1, I will basically be going against the score I've given so far and saying whether it's got better or it's got worse. If you'd like to speak to me or any others about the books, about the channel or anything like that, we've got a Discord channel. I'll leave a link for that down in the description below. And if you would like to let me know what you want to see on the channel or any comments on the video, leave that in the comments section down below. And don't forget to subscribe. There'll be a subscribe link below me. And over there will be a video chosen by the YouTube algorithm. I don't know what it is. Go check it out. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.